Good morning to you. Thank you for keeping it NBS television. It is the morning breeze, and this is time for the topical discussion. And being a Thursday, our conversations rotate around the economy of Uganda. And today we'll be taking a deep dive into the assessment of the economic gains of the current party in power, that is the National Resistance Movement. Having been in power for now counting close to 4 decades and yet seeking another re-election in the forthcoming general elections, that is in 2026. What yardstick can we be able to use to measure whether they are on track or not? Has there been deterioration? Has it been steady progress? Because the tagline right now of the National Resistance Movement is about protecting the gains. Are the gains visible and feasible, and we can be able to pay attention to them? I will be having that discussion this very morning. And with me is Dr. Ezra Mhumza, who is the Executive Director of the Uganda Manufacturers Association, a very key and critical subset of the economy when we talk about manufacturing, because that directly points to to employment and securing of jobs, but also just this contribution to the gross domestic product, as well as more revenues if the products that are produced here are exported. It's literally a very wide one to cover. We will also be having Honorable Sanjay Tana later on joining us. But Dr. Ezra, very good morning to you, and happy to have you on the Morning Breeze.
Good morning to you, Madrid. I'm happy to be here.
A pleasure. When we look at the current state of affairs with regard to the economy, holistically, first of all, what would be your assessment of the NRM that is seeking a re-election in the next election, but also currently they're talking about protecting the gains?
Yes. I don't know what is happening in the party, because I'm not into politics.
Yeah, sure.
But from where I sit, for us in the players in the economy who are so concerned with economic parameters,
yeah,
our considerations may be a little bit different from politicians, because politicians are picking, what do I speak about today? What makes me look popular today? But the economic parameters, they look at what you have done today and how it will affect the rest of the economy in general, whether they voted you or not, and then the future.
Yeah.
So there are 3 major things that you underpick or you underpin to try to assess where the past government, the government has really, because to us government is government. Who is in government may not be the actual thing, but are important for building the economy. Number 1 is stability. The stability in the general security of the economy. The second thing, we look at the macroeconomic stability. The stability of those, you would think the parameters of, yes, the parameters that play into the growth of the economy. When you talk about the stability in terms of inflation, in terms of interest rates, in terms of foreign exchange rating, all these are very crucial in terms of economic stability. Then the third one is about the stability of investment, that investment security. There is security general for the entire country. Then we have the macroeconomic stability, which now plays at that high level. But then there is individual company feeling secure in the economy.
To invest and stay.
Yes, as an investor. So those are major 3. Then the fourth one maybe is how this economy relates with other economies, because we no longer can't afford to be in an economy where you're isolated from the global economic chains. Now, in that instance, we measure how you relate with the other economies. When we hear, we push and say there is a market here. We expect the government to quickly say, do we look at a regional integration aspects that will connect us to the others in the region? Do we go for a bilateral between that country that has the market and the country that we are in? So majorly, basically, those are the 4 issues.
And if you were to try and look introspectively, how is the current government faring? And especially that we are at a very crucial time, elections, where there is a lot of spending when it comes to the money that gets into the system. But also there is the whole idea of waiting to look at how stable in terms of the general elections are going to be, and that which directly also affects investment, because like the saying is always, money hates noise.
Yes. In general, when government respects investment or respects private sector, you see it in three notions. Number one is, does government interfere with you when you are doing business? Does government interface with you through the right channels? You have not had cases where you wake up, you are at a factory, and then you are surrounded by the army and they say, we want these things. What do you want them for? No, we want them for us to survive. Those are some of the things that maybe we may not be able to respect. But for those who know how economy is built, those who have the history of how the economy of Uganda has been evolving, we had such instances. So on that particular, we say government has really secured and respected with the private entities. And the general security of our businesses is very, very important. You can lock a shop in Kampala, you go home, tomorrow you are sure you come with your key. There are instances where whether we have gone with the key or not, you will find it open. So on that particular note, we say thank you very much, and we think that is one of the things that we would want to see continue. Security of the entire economy and the security of the business entities. Then the interaction between these entities and the government, some aspects like you hear taxes. Taxes is one of the things that we go through when we are interfacing with the government. We have seen some sort of stability in tax regimes. At least what we agree with the government at the beginning of the financial year, most of the time,
it will be maintained
through. It will be maintained through, and you will not hear kangaroo taxes. Where you wake up and you find a road broke, someone says, but you have to pay this tax. Where is it written? How was it passed? You don't know. So some of these things we see, yes, some are painfully, they are high taxes, but what is passed is what is maintained. Then the other thing is, in the region, we have had some skirmishes, which we call NTBs in our business language.
The non-tariff barriers.
The non-tariff barriers. You are moving things, you are entering a certain country in the region, then they say there is this. We would have had retaliations as a means, because you know when there is a hit to expected action, we normally get into reaction. Sometimes reactions come with anger. We have had pushes where some of the business people say, no, how can Kenya stop this, yet we are in the protocol and there is no reason, we are in a regional market. Can't we retaliate by doing this? Our government, several times, we have tried to engage and say, no, the government position is very clear. We are not going to use rudimentary tools, especially retaliations. So we think, and it has given Uganda business community some form of integrity.
Some think there is a form of laissez-faire attitude that is given because, yes, every country will issue protectionism with regard to protecting their nascent industries. For example, you're in the manufacturing sector, and some believe that it should be an eye for an eye, or there should be talks at least to be able to harmonize, because we cannot be allowing products from other countries coming into, and yet those very countries will deter particular products coming from Uganda.
Yes, that's why we're saying we are seeing some trend of maturity in the way the government apparatus handles these, there would be sensitive aspects of the regional integration. Otherwise, we see the ministers, we see the president himself get to engage to his counterparts, especially across in Kenya, to try to negotiate, try to exhibit. They have exhibited some level of maturity such that we do not now react to NTBs by creating other NTBs or by creating standoffs between countries. So that maturity has really been good, and it's a good signal that the government still believes in the bigger picture of the regional integration, the bigger picture of beyond Uganda.